Hello. Hi, everybody. Welcome. We're going to get ready to start. So, I want to welcome you to our Willow White Coat ceremony here at Cal State Long Beach. My name is Chris Campbell, and I'm an assistant professor at the School of Nursing. We're excited to see all of you here tonight. And I'd like to extend a special welcome to some of our special guests. We have the Interim Dean of the College of Health and Human Services, Dr. Grace Reynolds Fisher, with us. And our Director of the School of Nursing, Dr. Michael Williams. And I'd also like to recognize our amazing faculty that are here with us tonight. If you all could stand and wave. I also want to welcome all the family and friends who have joined us tonight to support our students in their journey to become nurse practitioners. And last but not least, I want to thank all of our students. These students here on stage are part of our BSN to DNP program, which is a bachelor's to doctoral program, which means that they've already graduated nursing school, they've had some experience as practicing nurses, and now are here to become nurse practitioners and gain their doctoral degree. So not only are these students learning about how to become nurse practitioners, but they're also doing all the doctoral work on top of it. I did mine piecemeal. I became a nurse practitioner first, and then years later got my doctorate. So I really want everybody to realize the hard work that these students are putting in during this program. They're all working on their DNP projects where they are transforming research into real-world initiatives that improve healthcare for our patients. So we should all be very proud of the work that they're doing. So why are we here tonight? We are here to celebrate our nurse practitioner students as they end the first part of their didactic studies or their in-class studies and prepare for the program's clinical component. You've taken those 3 Ps courses and passed. For those of you who are unfamiliar with the 3 Ps, they're advanced pathophysiology, advanced pharmacology, and advanced physical assessment. And these are courses are the core of what we do as nurse practitioners. I've taken those courses, I've taught those courses, and it's amazing the amount of knowledge that we have shoved into your brains over the last few semesters. And now you're ready to use all that knowledge that you've crammed into your brain until you thought one more thing wouldn't fit, and you're going to put it all together in the clinical setting. And not only those 3 Ps classes, you've taken classes on informatics, on the social determinants of health, on evidence-based practice. So all of those things are what are going to make you a lovely, successful nurse practitioner. So all those case studies that we did in class, now there's going to be real patients. So many of you might have had a white coat ceremony in your undergraduate nursing program, and I'm sure at that time you were a bit overwhelmed with the idea of the responsibility you were taking on as a future nurse. Now you're making even a larger transition into advanced practice nursing. I'm sure that many of you are excited to get out there and start seeing your patients, but some of you might be feeling a little bit anxious. And believe me, it's normal to feel both, and it's okay. Although I didn't have a Willow or white coat ceremony, I distinctly remember how I felt as I prepared to start my clinicals as a nurse practitioner student. I had been practicing in the emergency room in the ICU nurse for a few years, and I was super confident. I was an expert in my field. I had gotten my certified emergency nurse certification. I became a CCRN. I worked with my husband in the emergency room, and he would have said I was a cocky nurse. But I was confident. I knew my stuff. I was an expert. But as a nurse practitioner student, I was going back to being a novice. And honestly, I really didn't like it. I had spent my whole career thinking that it was just so easy to diagnose and treat patients until that whole responsibility fell upon me. So that's kind of where you're sitting tonight. You're about to take on that responsibility, but we're going to make sure you're ready for it. My confidence grew slowly, as yours will. And absolutely we'll have your fellow students and your faculty to support you along the way. The next question is, why is this called a Willow ceremony? When I began looking into a white coat ceremony for our NP students, I conducted a literature search. Isn't that what we do? And found an article about the University of Wyoming calling its ceremony the Willow ceremony. They based the ceremony on a video by Dr. Linda Campbell from the University of Colorado entitled "The Wisdom of the Willow, Capturing the Spirit of the Nurse Practitioner." This video documented the path of the earliest NP pioneers. Dr. Campbell's choice of willows was very appropriate. After all, nurse practitioners share many willow-like qualities. For example, willows are strong. Over the years, nurse practitioners have had to contend with lots of opposition, oftentimes from physicians and even other nurses. But we have stood our ground. Like willows, nurse practitioners are also deeply rooted. They are deeply rooted in nursing and health promotion, disease prevention, and in holistic client-centered care. And like willows, nurse practitioners are flexible and have shown an amazing ability to adapt and even thrive in changing or unsettling times. And we have a recent global pandemic as evidence of this. Every nurse out there had to totally shift and adapt to what was going on in our world. As you transition into this role of advanced practice, it is often easy to begin to feel that you are now practicing medicine or that you're a mini physician. I mean, you do actually get to put a medical diagnosis in the chart now, which is exciting, not just a nursing diagnosis. And you get to prescribe medications. But I hope you always remember deep down in your heart of hearts that you are first and foremost and always a nurse and never forget that. You just happen to have obtained a few additional skills to serve our patients. Every day you care for a patient as a nurse practitioner, you will use the skills you already possess as a nurse, such as compassion, communication, critical thinking, patient advocacy. Never let go of those traits. And this is what makes you all special and sets you apart in the field of healthcare. We wish you the best as you embark on this next step in your educational journey. As you go forward, don't forget to ask questions, lots of questions. Ask your preceptors questions until you drive them crazy. Ask your faculty lots of questions. That's why we're here. Pick their brains while you have the chance. And remember to reach out if you need help. Reach out to fellow students, to your family, your friends, and always you can reach out to us faculty members. We are here for you. We want you to be the most successful nurse practitioners you can be. And we know that you will go out and make us proud. Go Beach. So our next speaker is our director of the School of Nursing, Dr. Michael Williams. Please give him a warm welcome.
Good afternoon. I just want to say I'm very proud of you. I'm also excited. You are our cohort number 2, right? So we've learned a lot from cohort number 1, so you should also be thankful to them. They all graduate in May, and they've been great giving us feedback. You guys give us feedback to improve stuff as well. When I was listening to Dr. Campbell, 2 things occurred to me. Well, first of all, helium's not what it used to be, apparently. That's the first thing I thought of, like, what's going on? When I was younger, it was better. So that was a long time ago, but much better. So that. And then the other thing is, hopefully you've read this at some point in your career, but Dr. Pat Benner wrote From Novice to Expert, right? And talks about how novices, like beginning students, how you learn, and it's pattern recognition and things like that. And then you eventually move into an expert, as Dr. Campbell was talking about. 100 years ago, I wrote an article from expert to novice, because when you switch roles, you go back to being a novice. And you don't stay at that expert, and it's really hard, and you feel like an imposter a lot of times, right? Because you're like, I should know this, and you're like, I don't know this, and I probably say I don't know this 10 times a day. So, I like to learn, so that's a good thing. So I just want to say welcome, congratulations that you're at this point. I thank you for going through the first year. I hope it's been an exciting one for you. I know the faculty have enjoyed all of you. I've enjoyed meeting with most of you. So congratulations and good luck.
And next, we're going to have the interim dean of the College of Health and Human Services come speak to us, Dr. Grace Reynolds Fisher. For those of you who aren't familiar, the School of Nursing is part of a college within the university. And we have physical therapy, we have criminal justice, we have health sciences. So we are part of a bigger organization that is all focused on the health and safety and happiness of all humans. So we welcome Dr. Grace Reynolds Fisher.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here today for this very important ceremony that takes place annually, if not semesterly. Today we celebrate a momentous milestone, the White Coat Ceremony, a rite of passage that signifies your commitment to serving others with skill, compassion, and integrity. As you don these coats, you are not just putting on a symbol of your profession, you are embracing the trust that patients will place in you, the responsibility to make sound clinical judgments, and the courage to stand at the bedside when hope, fear, and uncertainty meet. We wouldn't be living in the 21st century if I didn't say a few words about artificial intelligence. The world you are entering is changing rapidly. Technology, especially AI, is transforming many aspects of healthcare. You have no doubt heard the buzzwords: machine learning, predictive models, clinical decision support. These are powerful tools that can analyze data faster than ever before and help flag patterns that we as humans might overlook. But let me be clear, technology will not replace you. And importantly, the tools themselves were never designed to. A recent Forbes article on healthcare AI makes an important point. AI is reshaping healthcare infrastructure, but it is not replacing clinicians. Instead, the evolution we're seeing is one where smart systems help clinicians do their work better and more sustainably. What that Forbes piece and others like it emphasize is a simple truth. The heart of clinical practice is human judgment. Algorithms don't feel compassion. They don't interpret a frightened patient's hesitation, navigate complex family dynamics, or make ethical decisions about end-of-life care. Those are uniquely human responsibilities that belong to you, the nurse standing beside the patient, listening, observing, deciding, and advocating. AI may help reduce administrative burdens, documentation, scheduling, triaging, freeing up more of your time to focus on patient needs. It may offer insights into complex patterns of disease or suggest possibilities you haven't considered. More and more AI is playing an important role in diagnostics. But it can't make the human judgment calls that define nursing care, where empathy, intuition, and moral reasoning are required. Where real care happens, you will remain essential. Some people worry, especially in tech circles, that AI will someday replace clinicians. Yet leading thinkers in healthcare technology stress that the future lies in augmentation, not automation. These tools support clinical judgment. They do not supplant the need for a trained, compassionate professional who can interpret, contextualize, and act. And that's good news, because nursing is more than a set of tasks. It is an art as much as it is a science. It is the look in a patient's eye when you sit beside them. It is the calm in your voice when someone is afraid. It is the careful judgment you bring when there are no easy answers. As you move forward in your education and into clinical practice, advanced practice, I encourage you to welcome technology as an ally. Learn how to use it wisely. Let it carry burdens that slow you down, but never let it replace your curiosity, your compassion, or your voice at the bedside. We live in an era where the challenges facing healthcare, workforce shortages, rising complexity of care, and systematic inefficiencies are real. AI may help address some of these challenges, but it will never replace the human heart and mind at the center of care. That privilege and responsibility are yours. So wear your white coat with pride. Wear it as a reminder that you are entering a profession that demands intellect, empathy, courage, and judgment. Wear it knowing that while technologies may evolve, your role as a clinician, a clinical decision maker, an advocate, and a healer remain irreplaceable. Congratulations, the future of healthcare needs you, fully human, deeply caring, and boldly committing to those you will serve. Thank you.
Now I'd like to introduce our student speaker. This speaker was chosen by his classmates as being someone who embodied what it was like to be a supportive friend during the program, who has the potential to be a caring nurse practitioner. So I welcome to the stage Eden Yemen.
Thank you, Dr. Campbell, and thank you, Dr. Grace Reynolds Fisher, for assuring us that we'll have a job after we graduate. So again, my name is Eden, and I am honored to be part of this group, Cohort 2, that's what we call ourselves. And when I was asked to speak, or volunteered, I should say, I was thinking about what I should say, and a quote came to mind. "The road to success is dotted with many tempting parking spots." We are all fine. We could have stopped after high school. We could have stopped after college, after a job, after that incredible vacation. But we're here and we decided to keep going. So that's a credit to everyone in this room. What's the reason why, though? We wanted something more. So now on this current path to clinical rotations and the second half of our schooling, I asked myself, how do we keep the motor running? How do we stay inspired? How do we try to thrive? Because it might get a little harder before it gets better. So it got me thinking, okay, maybe there's 3 themes we can think about. The first is care, and I think that was touched on by the doctors behind us in the form of empathy and compassion. Then there's capacity, and the third one is confidence. And I'm going to kind of touch on all of these things to see how we can use that as we go forward here. So the first element is care, and how do we keep on pushing forward? And here's an example of what I'm referring to. On November 19th, 2024, my first child, Angela McConan, was born. And that was actually the day after my son was born. And I received a phone call from a number I didn't recognize. And some of my classmates know me that if you're not registered in my phone, I'm not picking it up. But it was a very eventful 3 to 4 days at the hospital, and we were getting fielding calls from friends, family, hospital providers, and staff. So I decided to pick it up, and I was really reluctant because we were dog-tired, both emotionally and physically. And to my surprise, it was a professor. It was Dr. Zandri. And she called to check in on my wife and I to see how we were doing. See, throughout the semester, she knew our story. She knew that my wife was pregnant, some of the issues that may occur, and she knew that she was going to be induced that week. And when she didn't hear anything from us, she called. She wanted to check in. And she wasn't obligated to contact me, but she did it out of care. So I appreciated it at the time, but I'm really grateful now because it speaks to the program's professors and staff. I truly believe that they care about our success, and they want to see us succeed. So with all the stressors that are going on in our studies, clinical rotations, life, blah, 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 I encourage you all to ask yourself, how can I show up with care? How do I carry my care, even when it's not required? And maybe that can help push us through. The second element is capacity and how we can fulfill it. And here's what I mean. Are you guys familiar with the expression, if you're the smartest person in the room, you ought to change rooms? That's not our problem. We are surrounded by incredibly intelligent, smart, talented people who are musicians, artists, dancers, doing all types of things on top of their professions, like ICU nurses, nurses in anesthesia, or emergency room nurses. So as we're going through all these things, how do we stay motivated to go through this program? And especially since we were fine beforehand. And yes, I just talked about my life event, but other people in our cohort had life events as well. Just in my project group alone, we had 2 marriages. Zeph got married in the spring of 2025. Congratulations to her. But right after her, my other project member. She got married. This is Michelle, and she got married in the fall of 2005. And then on top of that, the other project member, she's now expecting this summer. So there's a lot going on just in our little circle, our little project group, but in the cohort alone, we have 2 marriage engagements at least that we know of. We have a Daisy Award winner. We were blessed with another child this past fall. So congratulations to Renee. We have people purchasing homes. We have health injuries. We had a student coming in with a broken back. I mean, this is incredible. So we have several parents of young children. How do we manage all this stuff? And on top of that, expect to absorb all this information and continue with this program. And so I just thought about, okay, how are we going to navigate this? And I'm going to be honest with you. I don't have the exact answer, because I'm still trying to figure it out. But I do believe that our capacity is not a fixed notion. It ebbs and flows, it gets bigger and smaller, but we can always look to fulfill it. So I started thinking about our schooling to get our RN license. And that was pretty hard for me, at least. But it expanded our knowledge, and once we got our license, we gained the respect in our community. So much so that the day after, I don't know about you guys, but the day after I got my license, I was getting phone calls out the blue. It was kind of like there was a listserv. Like, hey, Eden, I have a fever of 102.3. Do you think I should take some medicine? Or can you take a look at my blood work? Tell me if something's wrong? Or my favorite one, it's usually from the random guy on a park bench or something. It's like, they just say, oh man, that's great, you're a registered nurse? Well, you know what, I have this thing growing right here, and they start to disrobe right in front of you, and you're like, whoa, I don't need to name that body part right now. Maybe you should see your health provider. But this is kind of what is to be expected. This is the price of knowledge. And this is the form of respect that is manifested by the community. It's seeking counsel. It's asking questions. So, as we're getting all these questions, and you may feel like you're the smartest person in the room, as we're going through this transition to get this doctor and nursing practice, let me remind you, we are not the smartest person in the room. There's an ocean of knowledge and people that we need to learn from. We are just seeds. And it's our academic community and our preceptors who are guiding us and who are watering the seeds, who are us. So I encourage you to soak it in. Soak in the information, soak in the camaraderie, soak in the experience. So together we may grow into a forest of trees. Maybe willows, maybe not, but we all represent health provision, okay? So that's capacity, and some of the ways I think we can kind of fulfill it as we go through this process, second half of the DNP program. And then finally, we have confidence. So we talked about care, we talked about capacity, and now we have confidence. And confidence, that is the gel that allows us to perform. It's extremely important. And here's what I mean. Through all the knowledge that we're gaining through the coursework, it's all designed to build confidence, that we know disease processes, we know how to treat symptoms. But then another way that we can gain confidence is how we reflect. We reflect on the experiences that we've had and how we've overcome. For example, none of us can forget Dr. Campbell's classes. She already mentioned it. She taught us advanced pathophysiology and advanced pharmacology. These are not classes that are a walk in the park. When I started these classes, my son was maybe 6 weeks old, and I hadn't slept since he was born. So I was tired. I mean, I have discovered new realms of exhaustion. And I needed help. And that's when I realized how awesome my fellow colleagues and my professors are. Between the office hours, the Discord, the study sessions, our project group, I felt like the weakest link in the chain, but I was pulled through. And you guys are phenomenal for that. I really appreciate it. And shout out to my DMP project group. The bond that we have is really special. I feel like it's symbiotic at this point, where it's kind of like limbs of a body. If there's something that needs to be done, like arms and legs, we just find a way to work it done effortlessly. But advanced patho and advanced pharmacology weren't the only classes that tested us and tested me or anybody else. We also had our first semester classes, and that kind of set the frame of mind, trying to prepare us for the weight of the role of nurse practitioner, because it is different. There was a class, Leadership and Roles for Advanced Practice with Dr. Deckers, which forced us to understand the rooms and tables that we will be invited to, and often steering. And this is very different from being a registered nurse, because as a registered nurse, we have all this great knowledge, but we have a luxury of saying, oh, well, ask the health provider. We'll just follow what they do. But Dr. Deckers reminded us through the entire semester that we will be that health provider. And so we will be the ones who will be guiding and instructing. So thank you, Dr. Deckers, for adding more pressure. She was also the one that let me know that I needed to learn how to write and put 2 sentences together. So thanks again. I think I'm still learning. So don't feel alone in that, you guys. And then there was healthcare policy and economics with Dr. Kardusli. And she talked about the US healthcare system and how we're going to be able to fit in it and how to navigate it. And speaking of navigation, there was Dr. Schaefer and social determinants of health. And this class was really special to me because we already know that the world is not fair. There are people who are wealthier than others. There are people who have more education than others, who are going through racial or gender biases. And all these things impact personal health. But what she did is she showed us how to approach it differently. 1, with an open mind, but 2, she focused on operating within an established framework so that our thoughts and actions follow a trackable path. And I started applying that in my everyday practice in the hospital. And it allowed me to take on some of the patient's daily issues, such as how they can get access to transportation, how can they battle food insecurity, and how we can advocate for our patients at a different level. And then finally, there was the class, Humanism in Health and Healthcare by Dr. Zandri. And I've already talked about her and how she was the one who called me during the birth of my child. But I do want to let you know that she also opened the door and let us know that we can be ourselves. It's important to express ourselves, whether it's through our hobbies, skills. It's important that we go back to ourselves so we can be better service to our patients. So all these classes and experiences are designed to instill confidence in our decision-making and actions as we continue our transition. And as we evolve, I encourage you all to trust in this. And so here we are today, halfway through the program. I don't know about you guys, but I am counting the months. And I'm finding ways to keep pushing on, keep going through all the upcoming rigors. And now we have that added clinical rotation. I do believe that we are indeed prepared to handle whatever the road looks like ahead. But when things get a little sketchy, try to lean into these 3 elements: care, capacity, and confidence, because they are all within you. So I'll leave you with one final thought. while the road to success is indeed dotted with many tempting parking spots, I believe it is our will and the circles that we keep around us that make sure that we park when we are good and ready and not when it's convenient. So stay strong. We are in this together, you guys. And if worst comes to worst, you can try giving me a call. Maybe I'll pick up. Yeah, so. Thank you very much, you guys. Take care.
Thank you, Eden. If your goal was to make me cry, you succeeded. So, thank you for your heartfelt words to both the faculty and to your fellow students. I think they chose wisely. All right, so now we're getting on to the cloaking part of the ceremony where our students will be given their white coats. And so Dr. Natalie Sheffer is going to read the names, and Dr. Clediariano will cloak you, and then you'll come over to Dr. Tran, and she will give you a Willow memento for tonight's ceremony. All right.
I'm also very proud of you all. I got to teach one of your classes, so I know you guys are going to be great nurse practitioners, amazing students. So, could the adult gerontology acute care group please stand? We have Angela Back. Jerry Ann Elon. Jessica Laura. Victoria Tyler Dominguez. And Roxette Villegas. Congratulations. Can the adult gerontology primary care groups please stand? Tanaz Arman. Stephanie Johnson. Grace Waugh. Lo Yang Yi Dana. Congratulations. Would the psychiatric mental health NPs stand up, please? Paulo Benicito. Jasmine Bess. Renee Reyes Chenquin. Yu Hua. Christian Quijano. And Kiara Risi. Congratulations. Could the family practice NPs please stand up? Nicole Bachman. Minerva Ayaya de la Torre. Sophia Melita P. Gihau. Magali Alejandra Herrera. Teresa Wong. Michelle Isabel Manoas Rivera. Aileen May Mararan. Brian Christian Martinez. Zephaniah Zarate Molina. Megan McQuinn. Leah Rodarte. Barnoosh Tarani. and Eden Iman. Congratulations, you guys may sit.
Well, y'all, since I'm being myself, I am so proud of you, I just can't stand it. I know the next 1.5 semesters, or 3 semesters, 1.5 years is going to go by so quickly. For those of you who aren't FNPs and in the other programs, please don't be strangers. Come see me, tell me how it's going. I want to hear about it all. So I'd just like to thank everybody for being here and remind you all to thank those people out there for being in your corner always. And this is the end of our program. I would like to get a group picture, so if my students can kind of come to the front of the stage, we'll get a group picture, and then there is some dessert being served out in the lobby, so help yourself. All right, thank you. Good night.